What is happening, everybody? MG here, MG Covers, bringing you brand new sports handicapping video. Title of this video, 2 most important concepts when handicapping soccer. Super excited to get to this video. I got a ton of information to share with you that's going to help you not only in soccer, but also building other models or handicapping other sports. If you're watching this video for the first time, greatly appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Got a couple of DMs and messages, people asking about my health. I was pretty bad sick here for a couple of weeks, so feeling not quite 100%, but feeling definitely a lot better and probably sound a lot better as well. So appreciate the concern and the love there. If you want to follow me on social media, it's MGCovers, cover spell with the Z. I've sent out a ton of content there last week or so on Instagram. I put a lot of things that I wouldn't normally make a video for on my story. Also, too, on Fridays, we have free Fridays. So I'll give you all my lines, all my leans for all sports that we're handicapping right now. It's baseball and soccer. And we're also going to have lines for WNBA, which I'm super excited about here as soon as they have about 4 or 5 games played. Okay, so let's talk about soccer, bring you up to speed. Those of you that know, it's a sport that I'm very intrigued by. I've had a profitable season, a couple losing seasons, not much, down like 2 or 3 units. And then the one winning season I had was up a couple units. So it's been basically about a 4-year journey, a very difficult sport to handicap. If you watch my past videos, you know that, which brings us to the first. We're going to cover the 2 concepts, but I need to give you some context of what's going on before we get there. And those 2 concepts will help you handicap soccer and make you a better handicapper for soccer. Number one, the problem with soccer is you have a ton of variance. So what you have to do is you're going to have a massive sample size with soccer. And let's talk about why that is. As you know, in soccer, the average number of goals scored is 2.5. Average number of goals scored in NHL is a little bit more than 6. I think 6.1 or 6.2. Average number of runs scored in Major League Baseball game is 9.2. And that's very important. Regardless of the sport that you handicap, you have to know that the average number of runs scored, goals scored, et cetera, in order to handicap that. Now, with Major League Baseball, which sport is going to have a team that wins by a bigger margin? It's going to be in baseball more so than NHL and more so than soccer. So the problem with soccer is if you're only averaging 2.5 goals total, you will have a ton of variance. And let me give you an example of variance. Let's say you have a team that's averaging 2 goals, like your model, depending on how you structure your model. But let's say it's a really good team. They're averaging 2 goals in their last, 10 matches, 4 matches, etc. And they're going against a team that's maybe only scored 1 goal in their last 4 matches. So you look at it and you look at the books line. The books line is minus 120. You say to yourself, hey, we got a ton of value. This team's averaging 2 goals. They're playing against a team that's given up a lot of goals and they've only scored 1 goal in their last, say, 6 matches. We only have to lay minus 120. You place the wager, come back 2 hours later, and you look at it and you go, wow, that ended in a draw. And how often does that happen in soccer? It happens a lot, simply because of the low amount of goals scored. So there's a lot of variance. So with soccer, you have to have a massive sample size, because you may get, quote, lucky on a smaller sample size, which is a big mistake I've made in the past, where I would say back test a 50 game sample and would say to myself, well, wow, this is profitable. It's up 10 units, maybe go to wager and it goes all the way back down to 0. So one thing you need to do if you're going to do soccer, you need to have a massive sample size. And so some of you that follow me on Instagram have already heard me talk about this. I formed sort of a partnership with a former client, very cerebral. And my forte is building models. And what he's really good at is pulling scripts, basically scraping data. So he's able to perform massive back tests. For example, we have back tested every soccer match for all the major leagues, La Liga, Bundesliga, Series A, MLS, for the last 2 years. So I'm not sure how many matches that is, 1,000, 2,000 matches. So we have a huge sample size. So what he was able to do is expedite the process of trying to figure out a way to handicap this. So I had about 4 different models. So he could take one of those models, put it into his Google Sheets, how he was doing it, scrape the data, and able to get some really good results. So what we came up with is what I'm going to show you here. And so that's going to bring me to the two most important concepts when you're handicapping soccer. Because of the variance and because soccer is, quote, the three-headed monster, playing only home teams gives you the best statistical advantage to win that match. Soccer teams, soccer leagues, it's going to vary. Home teams win anywhere from 40 all the way up to close to 50%. So that is the best win percentage of the three parts of soccer. You also have the draw, and you also have the away side. The away side is going to win anywhere from 25 to 30%, and the same deal with the draw side is going to win anywhere from probably 22% all the way up to 35%. So by only playing home teams gives you the best probability to win that match. Now, the second most important concept of handicapping soccer is going to be to play only dogs. And the reason is I just mentioned that at the beginning because there's so much variance. If you end up laying, minus 120, playing any kind of juice, there's always a chance that soccer match is going to draw or potentially lose simply because the low number of goals scored in a soccer match. So, and I want to review this tracker with you, and we'll kind of go some of these concepts so you can see it. So in essence, what we're doing, obviously we can't give away the model itself, but you can see here as we go through this, we're only looking at home teams, number one, and home teams that are dogs. And we did have one play right here, Villarreal, back on 5/11. This is when we started to track this live once he sort of discovered this concept of how we're handicapping it. And this is plug and play. And what a plug and play model means, it's 100% bottom up. We're just using the model. We don't use any line movement for this. And so that's really solid. Now, if you scroll down here to the bottom, you'll see it's up 6.2 units. And again, this is a small sample size that I'm showing you, but we back tested this up to like 1,000 matches and it was profitable. So we feel good about this. Now it's 13-11, which is about, 54%. So obviously it won't maintain that win percentage. It will regress some. You look at the ROI, very high right now at 26%. And the average, line is plus 128. So the reason that's important, let me come over here to this screen here. If you look, if you go to Google, you can Google money line conversion to see this chart. And I don't know if the cursor is showing this, but if you look at plus 128, that's between 43 and 44. So our break even point is between 43 and 44%. So if we hit 45%, 46%, 47%, this will be profitable long term. And the back test has showed that it definitely has the potential to be profitable. So again, will this work long term? I think it will. Again, this is why we're doing this actually live. We actually have a play for today. So if you're a client, you can go to Daily Power Rankings and see that play as well. Again, so the two big takeaways from this video, if you're going to handicap soccer, let's go back to this. Number one, you want to make sure you play home teams, and you only want to play underdogs. And then also, too, if you're going to back test anything, a 20-game sample size isn't going to help you. 50 match sample size, you're going to need like a massive sample size upwards of about probably 1,000 matches to realize any kind of potential for that model that you're testing. So anyway, hope this video helps. If you want access to these soccer lines and these soccer plays, the coaching aspect of the website is $50 a month. You get access to my Major League Baseball lines, soccer lines, and WNBA lines when they come out here in a few weeks. You also get access to all my coaching videos. Excellent value for only $50 a month. If you want everything I just mentioned, in addition to all my personal plays, that's $100 a month. And instead of paying $100 a month, you can join for a year, save about $600 per year. It's $500. You get access to everything on the website for one low price of $500, save about $600 on the year. Link to join is in the description box. I'm going to come back tomorrow with a preview for Major League Baseball, show you some changes I've made to the model. So look forward to that. Talk to you guys soon. Good luck with your soccer handicapping. Talk to y'all soon. Peace.